morning, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to my story. I am Marisha Mewers and I am a 23-year-old second year medical student. I was born and raised in Swakop. I went to school at Nama Primary School and Nama High School up until 2019. So most of my life I've been an overachiever until 2020 when things went a little downhill. 2019 I applied to med school, to School of Medicine at UNAM for the first time. Right? We had the old curriculum still. I had all my subjects on higher level except math. So math I had extended level. I had a 3 in physics, and back then I think it equated to a C or B on ordinary level. So my physics mark, the mark that kept me back basically, or that caused them to not accept my application. I decided that I would do Bachelor of Science for a year to improve my chances of getting into School of Medicine. Right. The first year of Bachelor of Science, COVID came in 2020, lockdown. However, I still managed to get distinctions in all of my science modules. I applied again to School of Medicine. That was in 2020. Thinking that, okay, I have distinctions in most of my modules. I have a distinction in physics now. So my physics mark of 2019 isn't supposed to hold me back. So I applied, but ultimately I had to appeal again. So I appealed knowing that I qualify. However, the appeal didn't go through. The reason that they gave me is that even though you qualify, we still take a certain amount of people from each region, and you are competing with grade 12s, kids that come straight out of high school. So you qualify, you have outstanding marks, but we're rejecting you. That was a blow, a very hard blow that I had to deal with. 2021 was my second year. I decided to continue Bachelor of Science and to continue pursuing it because I had no other choice. I did not have a second choice. I have always had medicine in the back of my mind, and I tried thinking of other things. It didn't make sense in my head. Medicine has always been, or was always, the first choice and the only choice. Right, so I continued with BSc, with Bachelor of Science. Second year, 2021, BSc was the worst year. The worst academic year of my life. I questioned whether the path was even worth it. I questioned dropping out of BSc because what is the point? I qualify, I have outstanding marks, I have distinctions, but School of Medicine does not want me. I still applied and got rejected for the second time in 2021. Appealed again. You have to physically go and give in your documents, physical copies of your documents, and pray about it. We come all the way to Windhoek, and unfortunately the second appeal, same reason, you qualify but the space, there's not enough space. There are 2,000 applicants. There's nothing we can do. You are not special. My third year in BSc, this is where my faith got solidified. The amount of prayers that I prayed to get into medicine, and I gave full control over to God. I said that if this is not what you want for me, then it will not happen, it will not manifest. I started gaining back my motivation. I majored in biology and minored in chemistry. I conquered chemistry and stats, and each year I applied. From 2020 to, I literally said, if I do not get in on this fourth time, after getting my honors in biotechnology with distinction, if I do not get into medicine, then it's not God's will. This is my last time applying, and I got in on the fourth time. That is basically my rejection story in a nutshell. It was not easy, and if it were not for the people in my life, if the people in my life were not there, I honestly would not have made it this far. It's just God and the people in my life. My family that went with me to Windhoek to go appeal for 4 years. It's amazing what a strong support system can do. So that's basically a rundown of my backstory. One thing that I take away from this is, if you have a dream placed on your heart and you can see the vision for yourself, there is a future version of yourself that has achieved the dream. I have a few questions that people ask me. What is your drive? I think the one thing that keeps me going is knowing that there is a future version of me that would want me to keep pushing me going, that keeps me pushing forward. There is a dream, there is a vision, and I have to achieve it. And fulfilling that purpose is the one thing in my life that keeps me driven. If not medicine, then what would it have been? Like I said, there was never a second choice. It was medicine or nothing. Someone asked the truths about studying medicine, expectations versus reality. So before coming into med school, before being accepted into med school, I had this idea of it's gonna be difficult, but people on the internet make it look so easy. It looks like the people know that they belong. It looks like they know what they're doing. The med students are having fun, even though we all have this notion of med school is difficult. It looks like they know that they belong. And I had the shock of my life last year. We did not mentally prepare enough for the culture shock or the pressure that comes with being a medical student. Not just academic pressure, but everything that comes with studying medicine is difficult. It's hard to adapt. It's not impossible to adapt, but it's extremely difficult. Your mindset is completely changed, whole different ball game. Medicine it's hard. It's hard, and it needs to be hard. It's extremely difficult, but it's not impossible. I had imposter syndrome. I felt like I didn't belong. It felt like everyone was ahead. Everyone knew what they were doing. Everyone is 4 years younger than me. They came straight from high school. They know what they're doing. They were destined to be here, and I was an imposter and I did not belong. But I conquered that, and I am doing amazing. I found my people, I found my village, and I'm so glad I did not get into School of Medicine the first time around, because my cohort is made up of amazing people. People who motivate each other, people who know that every day is not our best day, and sometimes we do need the push. Sometimes we do need to lift each other up, to carry each other throughout the degree. You cannot go through it alone. You will burn out, you will suffer, and the one thing that will keep you going is the people you surround yourself with. You need people, you need a support system. Why did you decide to do medicine. Medicine is not just a degree. Getting a medical degree is nothing if you do not love helping people. As cliche as it sounds, I do not understand how people study medicine when they do not like people. I do not understand how people get into healthcare and then treat their patients badly. The thing that has always stood out to me is I would want to do something every day for the rest of my life, something that fulfills me. I need the adrenaline, I need to fulfill my purpose. And throughout primary school, throughout high school and BSc, the one thing that kept me going, the one thing that stood out for me was biology. Learning about the human body is the only thing that kept me interested. Tips on doing research, seeing that you're a published writer and all. So one positive thing that came out of studying BSc and doing my honors in BSc, I had an amazing supervisor during my honors year helping with my research, and he motivated me to get my thesis published, to get my research published. I am now a first author on PubMed, which is insane to me. Tips on doing research. First of all, know your supervisor. Get a good supervisor. Your research could be the best, but it will fail and it will not be as good if you do not have a great supervisor. Start early. Definitely start early. You do not want to be behind when the rest of the people already have their proposal sent in and you're typing yours the night before and you don't know what your research is even about. So start early, know what you want to do, know what kind of research interests you. That's basically it. My last question is advice to little Mao. What I would tell my younger self, I would tell her, keep swimming, keep pushing, because there is so much more in store than she can ever dream of. And I'm proud of her for pushing, because if it were not for that version of me, I would not be here today. That's all. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one.